I harvested all of this beautiful garlic about 3 to 4 weeks ago, and it is time for me to process the garlic, and I'm going to do that in 2 different ways. The first way that I'm going to do it is I'm just going to come through and pick out the best looking garlic, and I'm going to snip the tops off. And then the second way that I'm going to do it is anything that's kind of left over, I'm going to put in the food processor and make garlic pucks for the freezer. When it comes to harvesting garlic, you want to leave the stalk on until it turns brown and you have a nice papery outer layer on your garlic head, and that is when you know that you are pretty much good to then do with this what you will, whether that be braid it, do what I'm going to do with my garlic, which is cut the tops off and poke a hole through the top portion of the stem and sort of thread it, or process it in a food processor. And you also want to leave the roots on until they are dry as well, and then you will come through and cut that. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick about 4 of some of the biggest bulbs that I have, and I'm going to set those aside for next year's seed garlic. These garlics I actually did start as seed garlic, not from the grocery store, but from an actual nursery. You can try starting garlic from grocery store garlic, but the potential of disease is there, I guess you can say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, like I said, and I am going to start to process these, and by doing that I am going to sort them and decide what I want to use where. I want nice big heads for my seed garlic, and so I'm just going to come through and choose some that I might want and set those aside, and then I'll go from there. So that looks like a really good one. Something like this I am probably going to end up just putting into the food processor. And that's a really good head also. Things, I guess like this size right here, I am actually going to string. So I'm going to make 3 separate piles over here. And once that's done, I will move on to the next step. Now that I have that done, I have more than enough garlic over here that I have set aside for my seed starting garlic. So I'm going to just pick one of these, and I have hard neck and soft neck varieties in here. So this one is a hard neck, and then these are all soft necks. I'm going to pick 2 of those, and then I want to have another hard neck, so I am just going to come in here and choose 1 more for my starter garlic. I'm going to go with that one. Alright, so I have my 4 heads of garlic for my seed starting. I'm going to set those aside, and then I don't have very many to process for the freezer. So I'm going to start by processing the ones that I have to string up, and I'm going to go from there. I only want 1 string. We'll see how big this gets, and then whatever's left over I will add to the pile for the processor. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I am just going to come in with my scissors, and this is going to get really messy, and I'm going to leave about 1 inch, I guess, from the top down. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm also going to come through and cut the little mohawk off like that. And any dirt I'll just come through and just kind of brush off. Or you can take like one of the layers off from the outside. Not too many layers, but you know, you can sacrifice a layer to also help get some of that dirt off. And that's what I've got. I am going to get the rest of these done, and then we'll get to the next step. I have 2 heads of garlic here that grew kind of funky, sort of like that. So I am going on my trip soon. If you've watched for any amount of time, you've heard me talk about a trip that I am going on. I am going on a road trip, and these are gonna come with me. By the time you're watching this, I will already be on my road trip, and this video will be playing while I'm gone. But I'm going to take these with me so that it is one less thing that I need to buy from the grocery store while on my trip. Now that I smell like garlic so bad, I don't have to worry about vampires bothering me. Whew, it is potent. What I'm going to do is I am going to make more of a garlic paste. I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil and drizzle it in there and get this thing all chopped up and blended. So it's actually not a paste. I like that consistency right there, if you can see it. So I am going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to take a half tablespoon measure and start scooping it. I used to have an ice cream scoop that would actually have been perfect for this, but I cannot seem to find it for some reason. So this will have to do. I just had a little mishap. That's why my tray looks the way that it does. But I do know that it is not a lot, but it is a start. And no matter what I can pull from the garden to get into my house, my fridge, my kitchen, my cupboards, canning jars, anything like that is a win for me. So this will go into the freezer, and as soon as it's done in the freezer, it will go into some Ziploc baggies and back into the freezer. So that is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I truly do appreciate every single one of you. I hope that this inspires you to get out there and grow a garden of your own, and I will see you next time. Bye.